Now, back to Friday Night Blitz, a WFXR sports production.
Well, throughout the season, Jermaine Ferrell sat down with Crunch publisher Carl York to talk about some hot topics in the high school football season. So tonight, Jermaine checking in with Carl one more time to get his feelings on tomorrow's state finals.
I tell you what, it's always great having the great Carl York here with Crunch Time. And Carl, I tell you one thing, we are in the state's finals. We have two local teams still in the running to bring it all home.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a great weekend for high school football. I mean, the culmination of the seasons, and there's 6 great games across the state.
And first of all, locally in our area, the big ones we're going to talk about, obviously LCA taking on Phoebus, and a pretty good matchup between these two teams. LCA has just been on a tremendous roll all season, dominating their games. But then on the flip side, Phoebus is no slouch. In fact, the last time Phoebus made a trip to Lynchburg, Williams Stadium, they lost to Heritage in that state championship game back in 2018. But overall, your thoughts about this game?
It's going to be a great game. Make no mistake about it. I know LCA's got a great team, and they've kind of rolled through the season. But Phoebus may be their biggest challenge to date. And that's the way it's supposed to be in a state championship. You get there, you're supposed to play the best from the other side of the state. And I think that's what's going to happen here. You know, Phoebus has only lost once, and that was to Oscar Smith, I believe, who's in the Division 6 Class 6 state championship game on Saturday as well. So it's going to be a big challenge. I mean, they line up athletically really well with LCA.
And overall, when you look at Phoebus, they've got 7 state championships. But their last state championship came in 2011, so it's been 10 years since they've won a state championship. Meanwhile, LCA, all their state championships came at the private school level, but this is their first opportunity at winning a state championship at the VHSL level. As we know, LCA has been really pushing. They finally got into the VHSL, and every year they've progressed closer and closer and closer to getting that goal of winning a state championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been sort of a storied climb for them. You know, they thought that maybe they would get in it last year, and they ran into a tough Potatot team in a great game in the state semis last year. But they're right where they want to be. They've got a lot of talent with, Zach Rice being there in the middle, the offensive lineman that was recently, as I know you know, was named the Virginia Gatorade Player of the Year. And it starts with him. They've got the Davidson brothers back there. They've got Davis Lane, who's signed to be a quarterback. He's a commitment to UVA. And they just have a lot of talent. That Stowers guy, that linebacker tight end, he is something to watch. So it's going to be good football.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, by the way, that game will be 4:30 Saturday from Williams Stadium, the Class 3 final. Meanwhile, in the Class 1 final, you're going to have Galax taking on Riverheads. Riverheads is just on a tremendous roll. They are tied for the national lead as far as active win total. As right now, they have actually won their last 49 games. That's tied for a national current streak. They've won 23 straight playoff games. Their last playoff loss, that 7-6 championship game loss to, obviously, Galax. But this is a pretty good matchup. Again, Galax and Riverheads, this will be another meeting. They've met for the last 2 state titles, with Riverheads winning that. But this is going to be one tremendous meeting, a lot of familiarity between the two teams.
Yeah, and this is going to be they're going for their 6th straight state championship. Don't forget that, the Riverheads. But if anybody matches up well and understands Riverheads, it's Galax. And Coach Shane Allen, he was on Coach Dixon's staff, Mark Dixon's staff in 2015, the last time they beat him. And they're just they're a tough challenge. You know, we got to see Riverheads when they came and played Lord Botetourt this year. They're athletic all over the place, more athletic than people give them credit for, and they're well coached. They put a hat on every play. And the thing that surprises people is how well they can throw the ball, because they like to run it.
Indeed. So it's going to be a good matchup, and I think Galax can give them a good run. But again, I mean, it is a mountain you have to crawl when you talk about those teams. So it's going to be a fun time. That'll be Saturday at 4:30 over at Salem Stadium. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. 2 local teams, both playing for a state championship. And Carl, I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure being with you all year with Crunch Time on air and online. And it's going to be a fun time. And the high school football season just seems like it's just ended. And it is just started now. It's getting ready to end.
Yeah, it's funny. We had a spring season. Now we've had a fall season, and it all seemed to have gone really quick. But I tell you, I've enjoyed being with you, Jermaine. It's always fun. We always have a good time together. Love talking high school football, high school sports with you, and you guys do a great job there.
Well, Carl, thank you so much. And again, Crunch Time, you can pick it up at various locations, Crunch Publications, all that good stuff. So again, Carl, have fun and enjoy the championship games.
You too, buddy.